Hi, my name's Alyssa and I'm Brightly's low waste lifestyle expert. If you're into sustainability, subscribe down below, become a change maker. But other than that, let's get started. Now, I think the idea is still out there that living a more sustainable or low waste lifestyle automatically means you either have more money or need more money to do so. And sure, there are absolutely investment pieces within the zero waste community and the low waste community that they love. But most of the time, if we're talking about what's really the most sustainable, it should also be economically sustainable for you. So with that said, here are 20 free zero waste swaps you can start making today. Number one is using freezer bags as reusable Ziploc bags. Now, a lot of frozen food items, I know some of my frozen vegetables come in these plastic bags with resealable tops. So essentially it's just a big Ziploc bag. Now, I think of these as the same way I think about stasher bags. I just wash and reuse it. Even though it's not silicone, it's not fancy, it's still washable and reusable. I still wash out and reuse some little Ziploc baggies, but let me tell you, those can break. They're semi-durable, but these freezer bags are very durable. They will definitely last you a lot longer if you reuse those. Number two is reusable bags or buckets. Now, a reusable bag does not have to be a fancy canvas tote bag. It can be a backpack, an old overnight bag. It can be literally any type of bag you have. Now, if there are still, like my area, COVID restrictions in your area, you can also do bins. We actually made a TikTok about this, but essentially we just say no bag at checkout because they don't let us bring our reusables. We throw everything back in the cart, we take it to the car, and we put it in a laundry bin. And if you shop at Aldi specifically, or like big grocery trips like Sam's or Costco, this is great for that. So not only do you probably already have some kind of like bin or tote or laundry basket, it's also really time saving. Number three is reusing sink water. We also made a TikTok about this one. So I like to just capture water before I wash my face because I know a lot of people like to wash their face with warm water. Our house, it takes like a minute for it to really warm up before I actually want to wash my face with it. And so when I have a container around, I just capture that water and I reuse it for things like soaking dirty dishes, washing masks, putting it in the toilet for flushing gray water, watering plants. Because really nothing touched this water. This water isn't dirty. It came out of the sink. I was about to put it on my face. So I'm pretty sure I'm okay with doing things like soaking dirty dishes before they go in the dishwasher with that water. Number four is foraging. Now, where I live, mushroom hunting is a big popular thing, and it's such an easy one to research and do. There's even like Facebook groups about it, but I know foraging is a really hot topic right now. I know there's people foraging things like dandelions, actually weeds that can be really helpful and be turned into different things, or you could do something more common like mushroom hunting. But I would definitely recommend joining a Facebook group to find out where to go. Maybe you could get somebody to go with you so that you're safe, you're not alone, and get some free food. Go forage. Number five is using up your old products before you buy new ones. Because let me tell you, if nobody's told you yet, I'm gonna tell it here to you first. It is not sustainable to throw away the products you already have to buy the sustainable version of it. So if you have shampoo packaged in plastic, you really want to switch to a shampoo bar, finish up your shampoo. Do not just pour it down the drain, throw it out, recycle it. Don't do that. Just finish up your shampoo, use up what you already got. And number six is using up products that you don't like. So for example, a while ago, I bought a face serum. It actually broke out my skin a little bit. It just wasn't working well for me. So instead I use it like a hand lotion because I feel like my body skin is a lot more resilient than my face skin. So I would just put some drops on my hand, rub it in the morning as a nice moisturizer, and I ended up using the whole bottle. And there are so many ways you can reuse different things. For example, I made a TikTok about this as well. I got this lipstick sent to me and it wasn't really my shade. It was this really bright red color and I am really pale and I just happen to be a person who can't really pull that off. It just doesn't work well with me. I didn't really like it. So what I do is I put it on, I blot it off with an old t-shirt, and then I put lip gloss over it and it's like a lip tint. I'm wearing it right now and I like it because it stays on all day. But I have a lot of ways to use products you don't like because I have went through some products that I don't like. Like one time I had a shampoo bar I didn't like and I actually just like would scrub a brush on it and then I would clean my shower with it while I was in the shower. It was like, and it worked. It's basically like soap. So if you want ways to reuse products you don't like, let me know in the comments. We can totally make a video about that. Number 7 is cutting up old t-shirts to be rags. I do this all the time, and I use these for my messiest spills or things on my car. That's when I start to use these. I have my rags that I use for just like general cleanups, like if I spill water or something, I'll use my rags that are a little more durable, a little more sturdy, that I want to keep around. But I love just using cut up t-shirts for those really dirty things. I'm not worried about it getting messed up. They work great. If you have a soft t-shirt, that absorbs the best, but it's free to do. It's great because you know where your t-shirt's going. It's not going to landfill, and it's just really easy. Number 8 is reassociating self-care and self-love with things that don't have to do with spending money. I feel like treat yourself culture was like a big thing for a long time, where it was like, oh, I shouldn't buy that. Oh no, you should treat yourself, you deserve it. And you know what, maybe you do deserve it, but if you could refrain from buying something you don't need, that would be awesome. But I don't think we have to root self-care and self-love within purchasing and buying. I used to be like this. I used to go out and shop when I was sad. Even whenever I started switching to a more sustainable lifestyle, I would still do this sometimes. If I had a really rough week, I'd be like, oh, I should go buy myself a bath bomb or something like that. And is that so harmful? Maybe not once in a while, but I was doing it like a lot. And everybody's gonna be different, but I substituted my self-care routine with things like going outside and going on walks, spending time with my dog, and weirdly enough, like doing hairstyles. If you haven't noticed from this YouTube channel yet, I do my hair like this every day. So if I'm feeling kind of down, sometimes I'll like put in a braid or do something I won't usually do to it. And it's really small, but it makes me feel better that I'm taking time to like focus on myself in some kind of way. Number 9 is join your local Facebook Buy Nothing group. I joined mine, and let me tell you, it was the best decision I have ever made. So I think these are great for a multitude of reasons. One, you know who's picking it up, you know they're local. I've noticed better results compared to Marketplace in the Buy Nothing group of people actually coming and picking it up. Even if I list it for free on Marketplace, I feel like there's more community and connection there. It's not like I don't know who's coming to pick it up. I know these people live near me. I know they're in my neighborhood. And I feel like everything comes on there at the perfect timing. So I actually had this shoe rack that broke. It had a little divot in the middle, and I put it on the Buy Nothing group, and I was like, hey, I told them what was wrong with it. I was like, I don't know how to fix it. And if anybody else knows how to fix it, they can have it. And somebody messaged me and said they know how to fix it, they want it, and they have a shoe rack that's not broken that they no longer like in their space, that they were wondering if I was interested in, and it was perfect. So that was probably my favorite Buy Nothing Facebook experience, but I think it's great for items you don't use often. For example, if you need a tool or a bake item and you don't want to go buy it because you're probably not going to use it again, you can get it from the Buy Nothing group and then put it back in the Buy Nothing group. I just really love those kinds of Facebook groups. Number 10 is regrowing your food scraps. Now, this is a super easy one. We actually did a whole YouTube video on how to regrow lettuce from the ants. So if you're interested in that, I will link that below, along with a bunch of articles we have on the website of how to regrow other food scraps. It's cheap, it's easy, and it's cool to have a little garden in your windowsill. Number 11 is getting rid of junk mail. So you know how it goes. You open your mailbox, you think it's gonna be a fun letter or a fun package, but it's not. It's bills and junk mail. That's another thing you could do. You could switch to online billing. That's what I do. I like it a lot more. But also, getting rid of your junk mail is so easy. You just need a couple websites to do it. So we have a whole article about it. I will link it below if you're interested. It gives you step by step, shows you where to go, links you to it, and it's a super easy swap. Number 12 goes along with cutting up t-shirts to use as rags, but it's cutting up t-shirts to use as tissues. Listen, this is not for everybody, and I didn't think it was for me either. Honestly, when people talked about handkerchiefs, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I understand it might not be inherently like dirty to do, but it just wasn't for me. So my solution was, I had a jar of oranges, of cut up oranges. And I took that jar after I was done with them and I stuffed it with little squares of cut up old t-shirts, and I made sure to only use like soft cottony ones. And there's a multitude of reasons why I love doing this. One, the t-shirts are soft, and I did get, since I started doing this, I got sick one time and I used those, and a couple things, I was scared I wouldn't have enough, but I ended up having enough. I have a lot. And then also, the t-shirts didn't make my nose all scratchy like a tissue does. So I really love that. I probably won't be going back, like solely because of that reason, that I don't get all scratchy and dry, and you know how it gets like cracked around here. I hate that. And I made mine disposable. So basically I have a little like wash bag that I throw them in after I blow my nose, and then I'll throw them in like a quick wash cycle in my washing machine, and that's it. That's all I do, and then I reuse them again, and it's so easy, and it's low waste, and it's free. So yeah, if handkerchiefs gross you out, you can do this, and it's kind of like a disposable way to do it without it actually being disposable. Number 13 is upcycling planters. There are so many ways to do this. You can take a can opener, open the top of like a soda can, or if you get one of those pretty like seltzers, like I know that's a thing too. You can put drainage holes in those really easily, stick a plant in there. Same thing, I do this with water bottles. I do this with food containers. I've seen people do it with like butter tubs. They'll just like hit them with some spray paint, and they'll use the lid as like a tray to catch the water from the drainage hole. There's just a lot of awesome ways to do that. Number 14 is toilet paper tube gardening. We also made a TikTok about this one. All you need is some toilet paper tubes, some soil, water, and your seeds. And it's super easy, and I think things like this are great when you have a very temporary planter, and it gets rid of those little plastic seed trays. Number 15 is reusing your leftover containers. So I actually kind of like the plastic leftover containers, not because they're plastic, but because I can microwave them. Because I think about those little stainless steel containers, they're very cute, very aesthetic, very popular in the low waste community, but you can't microwave those. So I just keep around some takeout containers. I mean, I'm a real person, I get takeout. I'm sure you do too, or have at some point. And I mean, like if you're a new homeowner or you just moved out and you actually haven't bought Tupperware yet, you don't even need to buy it yet. Like, you can wait off on that, because I'm sure you could just go get some takeout and then just keep using those till they kind of fall apart. I would also recommend Tupperware from the thrift store, because if it went through one household, it's probably gonna go through yours too. Number 16 is picking up trash in your community. My favorite ways to do this is when I'm on walks. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I'm at like the antique store, I'm like looking around still at checkout, and I won't be paying attention, and they'll put it in the plastic bag even though I say something beforehand. And I know with COVID around here, if I'm like, oh no, you can take it out of the bag, they have to throw that bag away. So I just take the bag sometimes. I'm also kind of nervous to say anything. I'm not really, yeah, I'm bad at that. That is my weakness. So I'll take that home, and anytime that happens, I for sure make sure either that day or like sometime that week, I go out and pick up trash and use that as my trash bag. So I'll just carry that with me. I've also done this. I still buy bagels and they come in plastic bags. I also do this with bagel bags. I just take it with me, you know, and then as I'm walking my dog, or I'm just taking a walk by myself, I'll just pick up trash I see in the park or around my neighborhood. Number 17 is refusing. So little things like when you're at a restaurant, just being like, oh, and can I get no straw with that? Because typically once it hit the table, again with COVID, they gotta throw it out. They can't like shove it back in anywhere and reuse it. Or just bringing things like your own utensils, asking for no utensils, or just not picking them up if you're at like a fast food place. And the number one thing is like freebies and like swag items you get from companies or like booths that you might be walking by. If it's something you're not gonna use, like, I say just pass on it. Number 18 is walking and biking over using a car. Now, I know this is a little tricky, because for me, for example, I can't even make it anywhere near like a grocery store or like literally anything on a bike or by walking. I have to get in my car to go there. That's just where I live. You might live in really close proximity to something to where you could do that. Also, the weather here is like not that great. So it's probably not like feasible for me to do that all the time. I'll tell you when I do it. So typically if I'm somewhere like some kind of shopping center or some kind of downtown area, I'll be somewhere and want to get to like another store, maybe a couple blocks down. Instead of hopping in my car and re-driving down there, I just make it a point to walk there instead of getting in my car, turning it on, and going all the way there. So it doesn't have to be every day, just walk and bike when you can. Number 19 is supporting your local parks. And all you gotta do is show up to your local parks, enjoy them, spend time in them, be there with your friends, your pets, your family. It's easy, it's fun, and it's free. Oh, and pick up some trash while you're there. And number 20, last one, is vote and sign petitions. Now I included sign petitions because you can do that even if you are not 18. I know only 18 and up can vote here, but if you are under the age of 18, you can still sign petitions. Nationwide petitions are awesome, but I definitely recommend going and trying to find the ones that are local to you. I feel like those have a really big impact. And vote for legislation that supports your values. But that is all. There is 20 free zero waste swaps you can start making right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe down below, leave a like on this video, and I'll see you next time.